PTON, INO, CCL, AZN, plug, beyond GC and BABA. The ones which I like the most are NIO, and you can see the NIO. Unfortunately, it's not so clear. Remember when I told you I want a clear 60-minute chart?
Yeah.
I want to be so clear so that once it breaks out, there is no resistance ahead of me. Right here, there are kind of wicks ahead of us. So if it breaks out, it will be good, but it will not be ideal. What I'm going to wait for NIO to do, I'll wait for it to sell off below view up, squeeze back above view up. If it gives me that, I'm going to take it to the long side. Maybe on the 1 minute chart, if it drops down all the way at least to 44, squeeze back up close as a hammer, I would take it. If it just immediately opens and starts going up, I will avoid it. Okay.
And so it's for each stock that have a big resistance, you wait for like a sell-off if you want to go long.
No,
and I guess
for any open range breakout, I wait for a sell-off and then a continuation. But the sell-off just varies. Like if the stock is just going sideways, for example, in the pre-market, a small sell-off and then come back will be enough for me. In this case, a small sell-off will not be enough for me. In this case, I want to sell off at least 44, and then a continuation. Okay.
Okay.
What was the next? The next stock I'm going to watch is INO. I also like it on the 60-minute chart. Why do I like it on the 60-minute chart? We're having sort of a reverse ABCD pattern. The daily chart looks enough weak to me. And I think, and now we're going up. So if we open and we just go down and break the low of 880, I might try it for the short, an open range break down. Beyond, another stock I like for an open range breakdown. The 60-minute chart on this one is not bad, right? Also reverse ABCD pattern, sort of flat bottom. If we break, and it will be ideal if we just pull back and then continue, I'll take it to the short side for an open range breakout. By the way, when I'm saying that I'm going to take it to the short side, it means that I'm literally not going to trade it to the long side at all those stocks.
Okay.
It's only short or long, the ones which I mentioned right now. Okay, let me fix that. Now, my secondary watch list, which I have plug there. Plug looks good, and the 60-minute chart on this thing is so good. I like it. And we're having a hammer on the 60-minute chart, new 60-minute high with the new 5-minute high will be good for long. But there is one thing which I don't like. I don't like stocks which make a huge move in the pre-market. Stocks which make most of the move in the pre-market, usually the continuation is small, and sometimes there is no continuation.
Yeah. So like 1 ATR or more.
Yes.
For a big move.
Exactly. So you could see how much it moved already in the pre-market, right? From 20 to 21.50, which is almost the ATR looking at the daily chart, right?
Yeah.
Like because already a huge move. But as a good risk to reward on the 1 minute chart, I might take it for a quick 2 to 1, but I'm not sure I'm going to hold it for a trend with a lot of ads.
Okay.
BABA, another stock I have so BABA unfortunately just broke down. This one I missed. This one I would have taken in the pre-market. When I see that the stock has a million or almost a million shares traded in the pre-market, I could take a trade in the pre-market, especially that the pre-market doesn't look like pre-market price action. The 60-minute chart is clear, right? Clear weakness right there. Daily chart, we're sitting closer to a breakdown area. A breakdown would have been a good entry. Stop loss somewhere at the break around here, which is the middle of the range, right? That's the range right here. And it's breaking down. I wouldn't even put it in the middle of the range. I'll just put it for the reverse ABCD pattern around the wave, and then just try to ride it. What I don't like about this is just that it already did the move, right? So I'm not sure if it's going to set up nicely at the open. At the open, it might squeeze up, it might drop. The risk to reward for me is not there yet. So that's why it's in the secondary watch list for me to watch it a little bit later. CGC. Also good, reverse ABCD pattern. The 60-minute chart, the 5-minute chart looks a little bit strong. Why is that? We had the range, we broke the range. We're retesting now, which is good, right? But I don't like that we had a doji at the low of the day. It could just make a higher low and come back up. So this one is not so clear for me, and that's why I have it on my secondary watch list. I'll keep an eye on it later on the day. PTON, let's see what we have here. PTON, I'm watching it for a long. Like the 60-minute chart, we did the reverse ABCD pattern with an M shape, and we failed it. We broke the reverse ABCD pattern, and now we're sitting up for a long. We're having a flat range, which I like. And at the break, it could be a decent open range breakout. So this is on the secondary watch list, but I might watch it closer. Okay.
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 And the levels, you already done all the levels, right? Like I see you have a couple of them per chart.
Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I came a little bit late today, so I guess I'll have to trade without levels, which will be a problem for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll partial a little bit too much. When I don't have clear levels, I partial too much. Yeah, but we'll see.
So you don't care at all for the entry? Like for example, if you see like a level, potential resistance or support, like does it matter or do you consider it? You know, like if you want to short and you see there's maybe support.
Yeah. No, those daily levels, they act as targets for me. Most of the time they act as targets. Okay. But definitely if there are multiple resistance below me, it would affect my decision taking a trade. But most of the time, as I told you, my trades are based on patterns and price action. So it would make me a little bit hesitant, but I would still try to take it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, despite me not liking it so much. Let's see, look at Killer Wise. Killer Wise looks good for a short. Reverse ABCD pattern, the 5-minute chart. What I don't like is that it's making higher low waves, lower high waves, or forming a pennant. Yeah. And it could break to any direction, so not ideal as well, right? Okay, let's take a look at the stock which I didn't put on my secondary watch list, but I still keep an eye on it. FSR. I don't like it because, first of all, the volume is decent, but the candles are gappy. On the 1-minute chart, they gap, despite having decent volume. The price itself is not in my favorite range. I like stocks above $30. The only one which I have less than $30 is I know it's because I traded it a lot and I just got used to it. But I like above $30. If it's less than that, I want it to be a low float stock. And I do trade low floats sometimes for breakouts and ABCD patterns only, not reversals. The 60-minute chart on this thing looks good. I see doji buying pressure, and this is actually a good candidate for an open range breakout as well. The problem is that we are on a third consecutive candle. We need to make a pullback before a continuation.
Yeah.
What else we had? AZN. The 60-minute chart is trending, but I will just keep it as a backup if we don't like anything. AAL, this one I'm watching it for a short. Why is that? We had an ABCD pattern with a double shape. We broke above the small range and we get into the middle of the range, which shows me that the stock is weak. And after that, we drop down on the 60-minute chart, right? So basically, I'm going to watch this thing for short. We're having a double bottom with the second bottom higher than the first one on the 5-minute chart. This stock I'm going to watch, but not for an open range breakout. I'm going to watch it later. If it later gives me a trend to the downside, I might consider taking it for a downtrend later in the day. If it just squeezes up, I'm not going to trade it today. So what am I doing usually at the open? I have 3 attempts. I give myself 3 tickets. I told you my plans, trading each of those stocks which I have on my watch list, right? And what I'm doing is I watch the price action. If I see that they're doing exactly what I mentioned right here, I take the trade. If they are not doing exactly the plan which I mentioned right here, I just look at my secondary watch list. If they are doing something which I like. If I take 3 trades at the open and they don't work well, or maybe 1 worked and 2 didn't work, I stop trading the open and I keep 2 trades for the afternoon or later in the day. Okay. So now 2 minutes, the market will open. And I was looking interesting, but still, I mean, I just don't like the way, the 60 looks better now. It looks way better. The problem looks a little bit extended there. The pullback, it did it. It didn't do it exactly to 40 like I wanted. It did 44.15, which is not bad. I mean, this is not third consecutive candle. This is the second consecutive candle. We did a new low right here. So this is the first, the second. I think it will not be the worst trade. It's not ideal, but it'll not be the worst. NIO, it's squeezing up for now. INO, sorry. I put it on my second monitor. I actually was looking at it for a short, but it seems that it's going to the long side. I'll see what it does the last minute. I might watch BABA maybe instead of it or Beyond. Let me check. BABA Beyond. So I'm going to put BABA instead of INO because INO, my plan was on it to take it to the short side. Let me show you INO. Yeah, my plan was to take it to the short side for the break of this level. If it does that, I might take it. If not, I'm not trading it. Right? That's why I switch it right now. And we're having Beyond. Beyond, my plan was also to take it to the short side, but now it's coming up which doesn't make me feel good, but I'm going to try to the short side later. Let me just set all my stuff here like this to be able to take the trades in my montages. For now, the best candidate I see is NIO for an open range breakout.
Okay.
Did you build your watch list?
No, I think I'm not good at the open anyways. Usually I just watch. I wait like for 15 minutes or something.
Okay, I see.
So I'm just gonna like watch you and try to follow on my charts.
Okay, perfect. Let's see what we can get right there. Yesterday, before yesterday were good days. So today's as well. The key is to follow the rules. Let's follow them.
It's so hard for me. Yeah, I try, but
I know it's hard.
Like when I don't find anything. Yeah.
Let's see. Baba just dumped, and it's going down, which we like to see, right? This is what we wanted to see at the beginning. And then we need to see a squeeze. If it's not giving that to us, we're just not trading it. Beyond is coming back up. Beyond is good actually for a breakout, but I missed that one. It was slow. I like it for short. That's why I just didn't take it. Let's take a look at Aiman. And I was selling off still. I doubt it will squeeze in this candle. It could do that the last 5 seconds usually, but I think the next candle, I would wait for an engulfing and a new high if it's going to give it to me. The 60-minute chart is still not bad for long. INO is squeezing up, by the way. Might try INO. Okay. Let's see it. I'm in INO. I'll share it right now. Okay. Just let me get a partial there. Just on the second monitor. And I can't take a partial. Okay, something's bad with my. Okay. Wow, that's so jumpy on INO.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I'm still in it. I don't put hard stops at the open, by the way.
Yeah.
Because exactly because of this, I would have been out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because at the open, it's just it's just bad. First of all, you could get bad fill at the partial, right? And the second thing, it could just fill you, squeeze down, get you out, and then go up, and you get a worse fill. I'm going to share it right now while I can. Quickly. I'm going to explain why I like this one. Though the plan was to take it to the short side. You see, we broke the range to the upside.
Yeah.
Remember, I wanted to take it to the short side for a breakdown as a reverse ABCD pattern. But anyway, what happened? We still broke the range. And the key is to predict one candle, right? One candle, if you can predict it, that's good. And since we made a new high, at least this candle will go a little bit up. We have room to 943, right? I already took a lot of partials. And what happened here? We saw the power of the sellers taking it down. And then the buyers squeezed it all the way up.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And so
that's what I want to see.
Your stop was like around half of the range.
It was around here. So the first partial was bad. I wanted to take a partial at 912, but it's 20% partial. I get filled at 907. This was less than 1 hour. This was at 1 hour, and those are good. Okay, those are all small partials, but the price was at 914, but it was jumpy. I got horrible fills on those. This was at less than 1 hour partial. This was at 1 hour partial. This was good at 2, 3, 4. Let me see how much my stop loss. Yeah, my stop loss was around 5 to 6 cents. 5 to 6 cents maximum. So yeah, the first partial was almost at 1 hour. Second one, a little bit more than 1 hour. This one was 2.5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, somewhere around that.
And you still have some shares left?
Yes, I still have. And I'm going to see what's going to. Because look, now, remember the stages which we talked about when we were trading? First stage is range. Second stage is break plus retest. Okay. Third stage is trend. What you want to do usually, you want to get within the range, right? Within the range.
Yeah.
And then you want to add at the break. First stage, second stage, break. The ideal is also to have a third add at the retest. After 3 ads, you start taking partials all the way up. And then once it starts trending, you could always add on pullbacks. Okay?
So it means if you have 3 entries and I want to have 1 R, you know, like the max loss, I need to enter like a third of my position on each.
No, it's not like that. Look at this. You are getting within the range at 890. Your stop loss, for example, 880. You enter here at, let's say, at 890, or let's say 888, for example, and your stop loss is 880, right? The stock breaks the range, for example. I'm just demonstrating it, okay? The stock is breaking the range now. You add to your position and you move your stop loss to the middle of the range.
Yeah.
Okay? The third is stock is going up, pulling back, retesting. You see that there is a new technical stop loss. You add to your position and you move your stop loss to this new technical level. And then you start taking partials. You see, every time you move the stop loss within the range, your stop loss at the low of the range, right? My God, let me see. I actually don't have a lot. I have only 30%. So it's fine if we get out. We're at the retest now, but the problem is I don't want to retest to the middle of the range because my stop loss was tight. I'm out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying? What was I saying? Okay, perfect. So if you get in at the middle of the range, right? Your stop loss at the low of the range. At the breakout, you move your stop loss to the middle of the range. At the retest, your stop loss is the new technical level. Then the stock starts trending, and you could add on pullbacks, right? So right here, it was the breakout stage. This right here is the retest stage. If it works, if it's good, it's going to retest and it's going to continue going higher. But I didn't want to hold on for the retest to the middle of the range because my stop loss wasn't a stop loss for me to survive the pullback for a retest. My entry was at the break. Remember, I didn't enter at the middle and I didn't enter at the retest. I entered at the break. So my average,
I understand.
my average didn't become somewhere in the range, which is why I just hold inside. But we can't get inside right there because it's just not telling us that it's going. Who expected it to be long? I mean, I didn't expect it to be long in the pre-market. After this candle, I thought it will just drop down. But you need to keep an eye on the 60 always because the 60 changes at the open so fast. Okay?
Yeah. And sometimes I see you have the 30 minutes instead of the 60. So what's the deal with that? Do you switch sometimes?
I had the 30, but now I don't have it. It's just the 60. Sometimes when I share the screen, I share 30. I just don't share the 60, and I have no idea why. It's my last, my old template. When I'm opening the chat room, I have another template to be able to share the screen.
Okay.
Exactly, especially for the chat room. My original layout, I have a montage and a time and sales and all of those stuff in the screen. I don't want to share my account number, all those stuff. So when I'm starting to share my screen, I open another template and that template is not updated. I have the 30-minute there, but I don't care much about it later. Like earlier in the day, you want the 60, right? Later I don't. And actually missed something. Let's take a look at Baba. You see Baba? We wanted to take it to the short, right? But I would have never shorted it.
Yeah.
It's going to dump now. Like most probably it's going to drop, and it did that. But I'm going to take it to the short side only if it shows me some buying pressure and then dump. That didn't happen. The stock dumped a lot. This would have been, I don't know, like 11-hour trade, if not more.
That's huge.
Yeah, but I didn't expect this much of a drop, and it didn't do as I planned. So nothing to regret. Nothing to regret. Let's take a look at FSR. FSR is actually doing what we planned as well, right? You see, it's breaking up. You see the 60, remember what I said? This looks good, this looks good. Most probably it's going to break up. I have it on my watch list, unfortunately. Let's take a look at plug. Same thing with plug, right? We liked it to the long side. We saw the selling pressure and then buyers taking back this thing for a long. Let me put it in that monitor. Plug. So look, sell off, right? It could be in the same candle, sell off and then a squeeze, and it could be just a sell off, which is big there, and then come back. Remember, we didn't like it to the long side based on the 5-minute chart. I don't remember what I didn't like about it in the 5-minute. Oh, I remember what I didn't like. I didn't like because it did most of the move in the pre-market. Now you're having a pattern, a bullish engulfing crack, which makes it a good candidate long. Let's take a look at AZN. Is it in? Is it in? Is it in? Not looking great at all. I'm going to avoid this thing for now, at least, right? Oh my god, I was about to hit the buy button on plug and it just squeezed without me. I had the montage set to stop and not to market, not
Oh yeah, so you had to switch. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to switch it.
Yeah.
And nothing I could do about it. Let's see, it's pulling back. Might give me actually a good entry for scalp. Yeah, I'm there. I'll just take quick partial. So this play here is scalp, and I'm going to explain to you why I actually scalp it right now, not trending it. It's because we did most of the move from 2080 all the way to 2150. That's a huge move for plug, right?
So hang on, I see CGC. Let me switch on my chart.
Oh, yeah.
So plug. And so what was your entry?
2138. It's late. I wanted to get to 2130, but I'm going to explain to you what I did right there. When I entered right there, my stop loss was scalp trade. I'm just taking big partials, and I'm going to exit at break even. I'm not going to hold in for a pullback because I'm not surviving a pullback. I'm out. Yeah. So let me show you how I traded plug. Plug right here, I knew that my entry is not good for a trend as well. But I traded the 60-minute chart and I traded the breakout of the pre-market high. This is a breakout. You see how flat it is?
Yes.
Right? So this is a flat resistance right here. And I told you, I want to see a sell-off, then I want to see a squeeze up. Right? If it just squeezes up and breaks the pre-market high, I'm not trading it. If I see the power of the sellers, then I see that the buyer is squeezing it up. I like it, and most probably I'm going to trade it. But I see that the stock went from 2080 all the way to 2140, 60 cents with no pullbacks. Oh, sorry, right? This is a huge move.
Yeah.
After the breakout, though, whether it's a shakeout, whether it's market makers wanting to short to squeeze the shorts, whether it's like quick scalpers players, if it breaks up, I know it will go at least a little bit to the long side. I'm having a setup here, a bearish engulfing sandwich. You see, I don't trade a bearish engulfing sandwich only because I have these candles right here. Right? I'm not taking, you know that setup, right? The bearish engulfing sandwich. When there is a bearish candle, gets engulfed from two sides by bullish candles. This is it. Taking it only to have this pattern happening as I planned after the pullback and then squeeze back up, right? For a breakout of the pre-market high. What is my stop loss when I took it to the long side? Half of the range. Okay? This is not a trend trade.
Half of the range of the sandwich.
Because this is the breakout pattern, right?
Yeah, it's like the 3-bar play, pretty much. Exactly,
yeah. So I'm taking it to the long side, putting my stop loss, partial, big partial at 2160 because this is huge. I actually didn't expect. I thought I will take a partial 2150, and then if it goes to break even, I'll exit, and that's it. And no reason for me to hold it to my original stop loss. Why is that? Because my entry is not for a trend.
Yeah.
Right? My entry is not for a trend. Let's see what else we have. Let's get back actually to an IO. Were we watching an IO? We were watching an IO. What were we watching it for? We were watching it for a long. You see why I didn't like an IO ideally for an open range breakout? We're having levels here, we're having levels here, we're having levels here. And if we break up, which we did, right? Which we did, we will have a lot of resistance ahead of us and it might just not run. If it's flat on the 60 and it's so clear on the 60, sometimes it's so clear on the 60. And if you watch some of my trades I put on Twitter, the best ones to work are the ones the cleanest on the 60. When the 60 is not ideal, I just have hard time with them. And you say that now here I trade a little bit differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you know, sometimes even on the 60 there are wicks for, you know, like it's flat, but there's still like wicks here and there. So how do you know where's the breakout? Like, do you use the body or just the wicks?
It depends. If there are a lot of wicks which show me selling pressure, I would wait for the break of the wicks. If it's 1 week only and the bodies are flat, or at least one body after that is flat, I would take it after the body. By the way, look at this. This might continue going higher. I'm not sure if I want to trade more. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sitting now at 4 hours. So I'm not sure if I want to trade more, but let's watch, okay? Look at NIO. Middle of the range is the stop loss, we said, right? Breakout, and then you see a pullback, right? Or a retest, right?
Yeah.
There it is. It's that after the breakout, you see that there is a retest. It's coming back up, wave. You see, remember the waves? If we take a look, low, high, low, high, low, high. What do we have right here? We're having lower highs, we're having lower lows. Do we take it to the long side here? Some might take it to the long side here because it looks good. It looks like an ABCD pattern or something like that, right? I personally will not take it to the long side. Yes, I have a higher low, but I still have lower highs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And if these drops makes a higher low and then comes back up and makes a higher high, this will be a decent long.
Yeah.
Okay. For now, just avoid the chop. This is a no trade zone for me.
Yeah. And so when it makes like higher lows, you have to wait for the candle to close, right? Like all the time. Like I know, like on the 1 minute, like it's pretty quick, but on the 5, you know, sometimes if I see a setup forming, I still need to wait for the, you know, like the last candle to close before to go long, for example?
If it makes a new high, that's enough.
Okay.
Right.
So we expect to make like we expect it to make like higher low, but we don't need to wait for it to close.
Yes.
Okay.
Like right now, look, if you make a lower high right now, a lower low, this would be a weak pattern. Right?
Yes.
Like a short pattern. But will I take it to the short side? Actually, maybe yes. The 60 looks good. It's squeezing back down. Maybe not. I will wait. Actually, I will wait for it to just to be safe. Like why rushing it, right? Wait for it to break the 880 area, which is the new 60-minute low, and then go short there. If this is just the beginning of the day, or if I'm so green, for example, at 6 hours sitting right now, I would try to short it somewhere at 90. Okay. Stop loss, I'll put it somewhere up there. The moment we break the range, I'll add to my stop position and I'll move my stop loss to the 90. And then I'll wait further retest and I'll add one more time. 3 adds play. And if you get the 3 adds play or 2 adds play, entry plus 2 adds, you can get easily 3 hours on trade, like easily. It will be so fast without you even noticing. It will be 3 hours.
Yeah, you don't need a big move once you have like a big position. But so what I said, I still don't understand because, you know, I use Kyle's hotkey. So every time I enter, it's like 1 R. So should I like reduce the risk of the hotkey so that I can go up to 3 buy or 3 short?
No, you move your stop loss. You always move your stop loss. That's the key. Like, look at this. You will use Kyle's hotkey. For example, you shorted here. You'll use Kyle's hotkey. Let's say, let's actually demonstrate it in an easier way. $1, $2, okay, $3, $4, $5. Let's say it like that. Let's say your risk is $50. You're entering at $2 and your stop loss is $1. Okay. How much is your stop? How many shares will you take? You'll take 50 shares. Now the stock goes up. This is the range around here. Let's say that this is the range. From here, this is the range. The stock is chopping in this range. So you take it to the long side at $2 within the range. Stop loss is the low of the range. Now the stock breaks up. After the break, your stop loss becomes half of the range. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And if it goes against you, how much will you lose if you exit at half the range? 0.
25. Yeah.
0. Because
50. Oh, 0.
0
because the entry. Yeah. Sorry.
It's break even. So what are you going to do at the break? You will add to your position. Let's say you will double your position. You'll have 100 shares. 100 shares, you add them at $3. Right? You already was in at $2. No, at the break. At the break of the range, you add. Your stop loss is half of the range. And if you double your position, your average will be at 2.5. Because you were at $2, you are adding at $3, your average is 2.5.
Yeah.
So now you will have 100 shares at $2.5. Okay? If it goes to the middle of the range, you will lose 50 cents on 100 shares, which is still $50. You see?
Yes. So still 1 R.
Exactly. Still 1 R. But your average is here. This is your stop loss. Now the stock is breaking. It's pulling back, it's retesting, coming back up. You know that your new technical stop loss should be $3. Let's say you are adding, for example, at 330. Let's say you double your position. Okay, 80 cents. So your stop loss will become 40 cents higher. It will be at 290. Your stop loss will be at 290. 290, and you will have 200 shares. 200 shares at 290. You see? And if those 200 shares drop to $3, you'll still be up. So you can add even more than that.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's say you added, now it's at 330, you are at 290, and you're having 200 shares. If this thing goes just 30 cents more in your favor, right? You see it's dollars, and you just say 30 cents more, you will get around 70 cents move with 200 shares, right? Which is around $140, which is almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And if you catch it for like your 2-to-1, your initial 2-to-1, like you entered at 2, your stop loss at 1, so your 2-to-1 was at $4. If you hold it all the way to $4, which was your 1-to-1, imagine like your entry at 290 with 200 shares, your target is $4, which was your original target after the entry, right? You will make somewhere around $220, which is more than 4 hours.
Yes.
You see?
So okay. So for the entry 2 and number 3, there is no, like, it's already clear on the chart. You don't really have a choice. Like, you need to enter for the break, so you don't choose where's the break, and you need to enter for the retest.
Yes.
But for the first entry in the range, yeah, but it means this one is very important because that's the one that is going to like dictate the average once you add at the break, right? So
exactly.
Do you tend to buy at the bottom of the range, or like more, you know, like on the you see, like, you have the middle of the range, so it means you have to buy between the low of the range and not more than half of the range, kind of.
So this is good. Like, when do I enter within the range? I enter within the range when I have a clear pattern. For example, a descending triangle. Okay, I see that the stock is making lower high, lower high, lower high, and we're having flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. What do I do usually? I usually enter somewhere here, like let's say 5-minute, new 5-minute low. Okay, I take it to the short side somewhere right there, and then I wait for the break of the descending triangle where I add, and then I move my stop loss to the middle of the range.
Yeah.
And then the retest and the continuation. I'm not entering at the middle of the range every time. Like, for example, on INO here, I wouldn't have entered in the middle of the range because it's not clear.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. And so, and you know, like sometimes, I mean, actually lots of the time what I trade, this is like the ABCD type 1, you know, where it's like pretty flat. It's basically a rectangle. So it's not descending. It's just like every candle is the same height. So in this case, like, the best entry is to enter at the bottom of the range.
Yeah, if you can manage.
If you want to go long, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, and not exactly. It's tough to catch the bottom of the range. The middle of the range is more realistic, like most of the time, right? It's tough to catch just the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. Let me see what else we have there. So I know this one looks decent now. We're still making higher lows, right? On the 5-minute chart, we're getting close to the 10 o'clock area, and we're having waves formed on the 5-minute chart, like a high, sorry, low, high, see new low, low, and new 1-minute high, but we're still making lower highs, lower lows. So I will wait for more 10-15 minutes to make a higher low on the 5-minute chart. It will take time, but it's fine. Baba, nothing. FSR, nothing. CGC. Let's take a look at this. CGC, where is the 60? Remember what we wanted to do in CGC? Remember what I told you, like predict one candle? You see? Remember we discussed this, reverse ABCD pattern. We wanted to the short. It's making a new low, and you see where it goes to? The 60-minute low. So if you short it there, that could be easily your target. And what do we want to see? We want to see it first squeezing up and then drops down, or and there it was going up, and then it started actually dropping down. Would have been tough a little bit, but it's not the worst trade because you'll be entering at the break, stop loss will be in the middle, and you'll be able to catch a 2-to-1 or almost 2-to-1. A 2-to-1 on this thing. When it's the first candle.
This one you would have been stopped, right? Like, because of the week. Because it
here?
Yeah, I guess it's like, no, like the top of the week is half of the range.
This here, that will be the middle stop.
Yeah.
Right here, if you hold it, yes, but I'm not. I wouldn't have held it, to be honest. I wouldn't have held it based on the waves: high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So we were making lower highs, and then we started making higher lows and higher highs.
Yeah.
That's my stop loss around
So,
here
for
or around here.
example, okay, so as soon as the reverse hammer, like the shooting star, you would have when it makes a higher high, because the previous high is the same high than the first one.
Around
Okay,
here?
yeah. So you see the shooting star?
Here?
Yeah. So here you would have exited as soon as it broke the previous high.
Sometimes I do that. Sometimes if I'm just a little bit stubborn, I will continue holding. But here, 100% I'm out. It's like the third wave up.
Yeah.
Like that. Here, yeah, most probably I would. But if I'm good and I see that my entry is good and I still can survive a little bit of a bigger pullback, it's still below my break even, I'll just give it a little bit extra time.
Okay. And at this time of the day, do you still use mental stops or you switch already to hard stops?
To be honest, I want to stop using hard stops.
Okay.
I used to have hard stops, but I want to be in control of my full trading. Hard stops are good if you can't get yourself out, and I had that problem before. I was telling myself, okay, one more tick. I will just give it one more tick. And then it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks against me. And I'm telling myself, why didn't they exit? And now instead of losing 1 hour, I'm down 1.5 hour and I'm giving a lot of profits and paying commissions. I couldn't get myself out. I was always giving myself a little bit of slippage to survive, just to see what it's going to do. And that ended up badly. And as I told you, we need to always adjust our trading to fix our problems. The fix to my problem was to use hard stops. Okay. Now another problem which I had before is trading of the 1 minute chart. Right. What did I do to fix this problem or trading of the 1 minute chart? The new order of the charts. Daily, 60, 15, 5, 2, 1. You see, this is in the corner. I barely pay attention to it. It's like the last thing I'm watching. Right. Like now this is me working on another problem which I had.
Yeah, I was wondering why you changed.
Yeah, so I changed it just to be able to fix my problem. I need to watch the bigger time frames and I need to be forced to watch it.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Baba is kind of like making an ABCD, reverse ABCD. It's not. It's like under VWAP, and the 5, the 9 on the 5 is still a bit higher. But the one looks good.
Remember what you said? First of all, there are 3 things which I don't like. 1, we did the average true range. Okay. Yeah. Second thing, a hammer at the low of the day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And we're going to go against it. Could make a lower high and then come back, right? And the second thing, third thing, the parabolic pullback. It's parabolic, right? Yes. It's a parabolic pullback. So we want to see at least an M shape. So those 3 things will prevent me from taking it. Let me see what else we have there. Let's see, okay. SPY didn't break the range. SPY is chopping in a range. This is when I don't trade and I don't like it at all. So the SPY, I'm definitely not touching it unless it goes above 355, right, which is so far right there, or below 352, or give me a good pattern like M shape, W shape, something like that.
Yeah. So you look at the SPY for trades when there is nothing on your watch list, or just because you see an opportunity on the SPY.
Yeah, I usually try to trade the SPY sometimes when there is not a lot of stuff to watch. Actually, and INO is looking decent. I'm going to give INO one more try right now. Let's see. it's going to work out. This wasn't the worst. We're having sort of an ascending triangle on the 1 minute chart, not the cleanest, but it looks like it's there. The waves also changed to the upper side. One thing which I didn't do and I didn't actually pay attention to right now, I have no idea why I didn't do that, third consecutive candle on the 5 minute chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to pull back into the continuation.
But they're smaller than the opening candles too.
Yeah, they are small. They're not that big, but better if I just wait for a pullback, because if it works out, it will give me a pullback. So yeah, this wasn't ideal, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll still be in it. I'm not exiting. Let's see what's happening, and let's take a look at what else we have there. Let's see what else we have there. Baba is CGC beyond squeezing. Beyond the squeezing, which is not bad. It might not be bad long, but we are still below 16.8, so no, I'm not taking it. Above it, it could be interesting. I might miss the initial breakout, but it's totally fine. I will take it for the continuation. Or after the read. CCL is good. You see how it's sitting here at the breakout area?
Yeah.
The problem is that it's already did a move to the downside, 3 candles. But if it breaks and retests, I'll consider shorting it. So I'll keep an eye on CCL on my other monitor. Because this thing could get ready in 15 maybe minutes, 20. That's it as we have. I know it's still working, which is good. Not that it's working, I'm not really keen about it, to be honest. If it fails, I'll not really regret it. If it works, I'll be happy, but if it fails, I'm not going to regret it because it was me not paying attention to the 5. Remember that always, you don't need to catch each move, right? Even if it looks good. You need to catch the move which has all your rules in it. If I didn't take this iron odd trade right now and it worked without me, I would have been totally fine without it because it's just not my play. Better wait for the perfect plays. And I did my 2 trades. I still had 1 more trade right at the open. Remember I told you 3 trades at the open, then give 2 trades later for the afternoon.
Also, it's not even like 3 losing trades. It's just like 3 trades. Even if you have 3 winners, you will stop.
Yeah, because I don't want to overtrade. You don't want to just force it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you have 3 hours. I mean, in the worst case, in the worst scenario, you allow you to go down to 3 hours at the open.
Yeah, that's what I just tried to do. My stop loss was 3 hours. Now it's not 3 hours. Now it's 4 hours by the way, maximum loss. So if I lose 3 at the open, I give myself 1 more in the afternoon. If I lose it, I stop. If it works out, I take another trade. If it's a winner, I'll just stop at break even for the day, for example, right? If it's a loss, then it will be a small loss, less than max loss. So what I'm doing right now is, again, sometimes I break those rules, but this is what I recommend to do, and this is what I try to force myself to do. I'm still working on that. 5 trades a day. If you can't get green in 5 trades, then no need to force, right? Whether it's 5 winners.
If your max loss is 3 hours per day,
Four.
Well, like 4. Okay, so what should be the target then? Because I think my problem is my max loss is 3 hours, but it's also my target. Like when I can get 3 hours, I'm really happy because it doesn't happen. Like yeah.
I see. So my target is 4 hours sold, but I'm going to tell you. You see, the problem is when you're having a lot of trades. When you're having a lot of trades, you're either at 4 hour goal or you are at 4 hour loss, right? When you're having the 5 trades challenge, in 3 trades, let's say the 3 trades worked out, right? You'll be up 6 hours. If you get 2 to 1 on all of them, right? Sometimes it'll be more. If 4 trade works, for example, you'll get 8 hours. If 5 trade worked, you'll get 10 hours, right? If, for example, 2 trades worked, you got 4 hours. 3 trades failed, you will be up 1 hour for the 1 hour for the day. If, for example, 3 trades failed, right, you'll be down 3 hours. Or let's say 4 trades failed, right, and 1 trade worked, right, you'll be down 2 hours, which is not your max loss.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 5 trades for me. It's always 5 trades. I try to make it 5 trades, unless like I'm up 6 hours on 2 trades. I might just stop and tell myself, okay, I'm not going to force it.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get more than 4 hours in the beginning first 2 trades, for example, I'm telling myself I'm not going to force it. If I'm getting less than that, like right now, you see how much I get, right? I get 4 hours. So I told myself I'll take 1 more trade because I'm at my goal. But I want a little bit more than that. But if I don't reach it in 5 trades, my goal or my loss, I'm not forcing it to reach my goal or my loss. Just
but if you still have 1 trade, you can continue.
Yeah, that's then the bonus which comes, right? If I'm like something for the day, I might do myself 1 more try. If it's green, I'll take another trade. If it's green, I'll take another trade. If it's red, I'm just going to stop. Like those are ones. But for the main rule, which I try my best to follow, it's 5 trades.
Yeah, and so when you say you come back, like for the afternoon, do you mean like what time of day? Do you left your computer and come back, or you still like watch?
No, sometimes I'm playing something, sometimes I'm watching something. It's always open, but I don't pay close attention to it because I know that I want to trade in the afternoon. I try to avoid trades from 12 to 1.
The afternoon is after the lunch break.
Yeah,
on Wall
after the
Street.
lunch
Like,
break.
is it like 1?
Yes,
well,
1.
actually, even noon. 1. Okay, yeah.
1, 2. The best time for me to trade in the afternoon, 2 to 4. 2 to market close. Market after the open, sometimes it makes a huge move. Then it gets choppy for a long time. I don't know, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, right? It just gets choppy for a long time. And later, after 2, it starts the trend again. It starts the breakout. It starts those stuff. And I try to catch one of those. Sometimes it takes trades from close to 1.
Maybe that's my problem because like every day I wake up, I watch the open, but I don't trade because I find it like so, so fast, like so quick. And so I only trade like basically between now and the lunch break, like maybe it's actually the worst time of the day. It's tough.
The time which I try to avoid trading from now on, like, is let me remember, it's the 10:30.
Yeah, I know Brian says
to 11. To 11, 10:30 to 11. Yeah, 10:30 to 11 or 10:30 to 11:30. I just try to not take any trade.
And because that's exactly at this moment I'm looking for trades.
I just noticed that my worst losses happen between 10:30 and 11. I don't know why, but it just market reverses around that time. Like, just look at this. This huge move, for example, happened right now. 10:30 will come and pullbacks will start happening, big pullbacks or chop or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to be there. So I just avoid trading the 10:30 time.
And so you said, I know, like you say sometimes after 11 you watch for reversals, but so it means like sometimes you don't really care, like you're not, if you're down, like you're not gonna say, oh, that's reversal time, let's trade.
At 11 o'clock I might, if I'm not saying it's reversal time trade. As I told you, my station is open, so I just go through like I'm doing right now. I just go through my trades and I see, okay, it's 11 o'clock, we're having a reversal pattern. This stock actually gapped down, but it was uptrending, and now we're hitting 200 moving out in the 60-minute chart. We're having a reversal candle on the 15-minute chart. We're having a cross, having sort of double top on the 5-minute chart. Give it a try. And I take 1 trade out of those afternoon trades.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Let me check something. So I know it's not looking good. I'm still in it. Let me share it. I'm going to bail on it if it breaks this area right here, down here. If it makes a new 5-minute low, it means we're having lower highs and we're having, we don't have lower lows, but yeah, we're going to start making those new lows. It will still be making higher highs, but the indicators, at least what we have here on the smaller time frames, yes, they're starting to cross to give us reversal signs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big selling week. It tried to break it and it failed. So yeah, I think there will be no reason for me to hold after that. And I'm going to exit that, and that will be full R loser. I'll be up 3 for the day. And I'm still going to trade, definitely. Later, if I see something interesting, I'm going to take something else.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see if this one is going to work out or it's going to get me out of here. 902, somewhere around 902, yeah. That will be my exit.
You don't have many levels on your chart. Like my charts, I make this mark the pre-market high and pre-market low levels. So for example, right now the pre-market high is 905.
I usually have levels, but for still today I didn't get time to draw it.
So you mark, you mark them yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I do mark them, but you need them as a reminder. I personally am watching all the time frames together, and I could see visually where I could have any support or resistance line. You could have it, right? For example, here, right? Oh, this was actually a good retest here.
Yeah.
For a short time, just looking at that. But yeah, I have it visually. Sometimes at the beginning I couldn't trade without them, but now that I can get them visually to draw them, because I will not be paying attention to something which is back there, right? So you need it.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible to trade without them.
For the MAs, you have 920 and 100 and 200.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking about removing all the moving averages.
Yeah, I've seen like lots of the guys at SMBs. They don't have anything on the charts. They just have the candles and VWAP.
That's good. I mean, I might keep the 9 and the 5 just to know how extended the stock is. But to be honest, sometimes when I see that the stock is pulling back to the 9 and the 5, it's in fact not pulling to the 9 and the 5. It's pulling back to the range.
Yeah.
Right? And as you said, that the range of these levels, they're not exact. These retests, it could be exactly from it. It could be closer to it, and it could be below it and come back up. Similar to the moving average, what I say, it could be closer to it, it could be exactly to it, it could be below it, right? So this retest, it might not have been because of this moving average. It might have been because of this previous resistance, which was right there. And I want to try to trade based on those resistance areas only. Well, let's see how it goes, how much I'm going to lose. I think if I hit my monthly goal before the end of the month, I'm going to try that for at least a few days.
Okay, so hang on, are we the 10? So you're almost at your monthly goal in 10 days.
My monthly goal is, let me see. My monthly goal is around 20 hours to 30.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
20 30. I don't aim for like a lot of green, like all green days. Like lately, I honestly didn't have a red day in a while. And usually I used to have at least 1 red day a week, 2 red days. My maximum was 3 red days a week.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like lately I didn't have those, and I know it will come. I hope it will not, but it will come eventually.
You know what? It makes me laugh, but it's like very, very sad. Like since the bootcamp started, like I think it was like end of September, maybe the 30th. So it's been, I don't know, like a lot of days. I only had red days. I had 1 green day the first day.
I had that. Like the same thing you're having right now. I had a lot of red days before. I had more red days than green days. But the more you trade, the more you practice, the less they become. And you need to
I know it's just me. Like I had so many problems. Like when I started the bootcamp, like I was so stressed. I did like so many mistakes. That's crazy.
Just remember what we discussed. Like the first important thing is the vision. The second thing is anticipation and we'll talk about that. Like the vision is what I was doing here in the pre-market. If the stock does this in the open and it does that, then I'll take it and then comes back up, I'll take it to the long side. If it breaks down, I'm not going to take it immediately like Baba did. This is the anticipation is the moment you see it coming, and then the patience where you wait for that entry. And this is something you need to practice. And how will you be good at that? You will be good at that once you start using the data stream mode or the market replay mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I should have that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't think I can have it on the PCT account. But once the bootcamp is done, like I'm not gonna be selected anyway. So I'll come back to my own account that I kind of like put it on hold, but it's still there. So I might have the replay in here to play the open, I guess. I mean, I could play the open when it opens, but if I missed some trades, like some moves or some tickers I didn't know, that would be a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. Like, look at this. You see, this is what I told you when you need to wait. 3 candles. After 3 candles, what is expected to happen? A pullback, right?
Pullback. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. And the pullback means a new 5-minute low. We didn't have a new 5-minute low here. There it is. This is the new 5-minute low. This is what I want to see before I take this into the long side. And because of that, I will add to my position if we make a new high, because we are trading now waves based on the 5-minute chart. Low, high, low, high. You're having lower highs. You're having higher lows. Low, still having higher low. And if you are going to have a higher high here, I'm going to add to my position.
So this one, it's kind of like a pennant.
Right now it's pennant, yes.
Yeah. So the best entries or after the retest, but you still want to add for a new, basically like the break, and then add maybe heavy on the retest. Is that your plan?
That's the good plan for trading pennants, but you could do that, yeah. But what I will do, I will add at the break. I'll move my stop loss to the middle. The pennants are tricky. They're not like ranges, right? Because it could break here and then retest not here, retest here.
Yeah. And
this
also most of the
pennant.
time there are shakeouts, like like it
I
drops and then next candle it shoots up.
Exactly, that happens. And this is why this all is considered the range.
Yeah.
Right? This is the range here. Like pennants, it's a little bit more trickier. Flat ranges are something I love. Now this looks good. Okay, I honestly was 1 cent away from getting stopped out. Remember when we said at 902? Might still go there. Unfortunately, looking at this, but at least now I don't feel bad about my entry, because look, if I entered here, I think that would have been fine. After a hammer, after the pullback, what I want to get, like if I get there and I'll put my stop loss, for example, somewhere down there, and I get stopped out, I will not feel as bad as entering here and getting stopped out, because at least here it looked good, and this is something I might have taken. Usually, if I see this, and not exactly here, I would have waited for 10 at 911 to be honest, but it's not as bad. Now let's see if it's going to get me out of this. I think it might, but let's see. Okay, still getting bought back up. Get bought better. Still a pennant, yeah. Let me take a look at some other stuff we had. I'll take a look actually on the second monitor, because it would be keep this here. Baba, look at it. It's making the type 1 ABCD pattern with an M shape. It looks decent. What I don't like, as we said, is the average true range and the hammer at the low. PQN worked out amazingly as we planned, and it did the pullback after the breakout. Like, look at this. Let me open an IO here, just to bail on it on time. I don't want to be late in this thing. And I'll open PQN here. You see PQN, the break of the range, right? There is a wick here, which is the final target. Not final, but the target to take the biggest partial, alright? Yeah. But this is the break. And what low is that? 98.15, somewhere around that. 98.15, right? 98, somewhere around 98, right? You see the break, the retest, and the continuation, right? There it is, somewhere around here. The break, the retest, the continuation. You want to enter somewhere inside there. If you enter, for example, for a 5-minute open range breakdown, right? You will enter within the range, Then you could add at the break. And then you add at the retest. And then it's trend. Like this one wasn't bad. And you see actually also the power of the buyers and the sellers. So they open it, squeeze up, and then it just gets sold down. I wouldn't have taken it to the short here. It would have been somewhere around here. because I will not like this week. Let's get back to Aiman. This thing is giving me a hard time. I hate it when they're doing this. Just get me out or work out. It's playing with my nerves when it's just going up and down, and getting tighter and tighter and tighter in range. I know eventually it will break to one of the two directions, but it's just giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
And my entry
That's
wasn't
why I don't like the penance for that. It's so like stressful. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's taking a lot of time. The 60 didn't close horribly. Like before, the 60 went all the way down there and it closed as a reverse hammer. And if it broke the down there, remember what I said? I'm not going to short it here. We want to short it below 980. Just be patient, right? That is the short area. But it then came back up, and now we're having a week here, which is annoying, but it's not as bad as it was. Like this was horrible. You see this? This was horrible, but now it closed decently, and then you the 15 closing also decently. So it has chance to go. It's not the worst, in my opinion. It's not the best as well. But yeah, I think this will take a long time. A little bit hungry now. Do you have any questions?
No. Yeah, but yeah, it was very like insightful. I'm really glad we've done the live trading, and I'm gonna watch this video a lot of time, I think.
Thank you. No, we'll definitely. No, I'm really glad this is helpful. And if you have any questions, just feel free to WhatsApp me or email me. Okay.
Yeah, and
We'll talk to you soon.
I'll try to do more review with you. Like when you do the reviews, I'll try to send more trades.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right. Have a good day.
So
Bye bye.
have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.